Welcome to JobsinPods, the only podcast where you can hear real employers talk about their jobs and reveal what it's like to work there. I'm your host, Peter Clayton. This jobcast will feature the role of sales intern with Nestle Purina, a leader in the consumer packaged good industry. Today we'll be speaking with Melissa Horvath, team manager in the pet specialty group, and Chanel Starks, retail service representative. Each will tell us about their experience as a sales intern. Melissa and Chanel, welcome to JobsinPods.
Thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank you. Melissa, let's start off with you. What does a sales intern do?
A sales intern actually has the same responsibilities that a full-time employee would. You actually start off going to a week-long orientation where you get an overview of the business, and you just learn all the different aspects that the company has, and you start learning the store call process as well as selling skills. And then you're given your territory, and you're actually responsible for the stores that you have. Everything that you do in there with the selling and the reporting of all the issues in the store is your complete responsibility. And also, in addition to keeping up with the stores, you also put together a business plan for the end where you're able to give your idea of something that you think could help improve the company.
So I have to ask you this. What led you to pursuing an internship with Nestle, Melissa?
Well, I actually saw them at the job fair at my college, and first of all, the name just stood out to me because it's so well known, and there's so many different things that's associated with Nestle. And then just for everyone that I talked to in the recruiting process just seemed very professional, but very interested in me and how I could help improve their business and if I was right for that part in the company. And so just from the recruiting to the interview process, everyone just was very interested in me and what I could offer.
Okay, so from your perspective, what sets this internship apart from others?
This internship is actually way different because you're actually doing the job itself. You're not just learning a part of the job or one tiny little aspect of something that you would be doing in the future. You're giving the entire responsibility of the job that entire summer. So you actually get a taste of what the company's like, and you feel like you're actually contributing to the company.
That's great. Chanel, what makes a successful intern in your opinion?
In my opinion, a good intern is someone who's definitely organized. Being organized is one of the top priorities. Definitely be willing to learn, be a good listener, and also a speaker. Being optimistic, having basic knowledge of the computer and all of its functions, and just having a positive attitude altogether, because you will run into various situations and things that may be uncommon to you, but as long as you have a positive outlook on everything, you'll be good to go.
So, one thing we hear a lot is that, it's very difficult doing a transition from college into being a full-time employee. So I think it'd be interesting for our listeners to understand how the company supported your transition from college to intern to a full-time employee.
For me, it definitely was not a difficult transition at all, and for a lot of other people that I also know, going from that college intern position into the full-time employee position. Everyone was always available for me to speak with. Anytime I needed any questions answered, I could call on anyone, and they would either answer it for me or send me in the right direction of someone. I also had a mentor during my internship who I just spoke with, who just kind of prepared me for everything that would start to take place. And I also still kept in touch with my supervisor for that summer. And, everyone was just really great and just supported me, gave me any kind of pamphlets or anything I needed if it regarded, maybe moving to a different area or just helping me with anything if I needed help with it.
One last question, and I'd like both of you to respond to this if you would. Melissa, starting with you, do you have any advice for those who might be considering an internship with your company?
I think the first thing that you would need to do is just to actually learn about the company and all of the products that Nestle provides, because there's a list that most people don't realize that are actually a part of Nestle. So it's really good to know the company so you know what you're talking about if you do decide to try for the internship and get an interview. And I just think that the number one thing is just to be confident in yourself and focus on your strengths and the ways in which you'd be able to benefit the company.
Chanel, how about you? Do you have any advice for those who might be interested in doing an internship with Nestle?
Yeah, what I would say is just to definitely just take full advantage of everything the internship has to offer you. I mean, you're surrounded by great people, whether it be on your team, the management. I mean, everyone around you have a great support system, so just take advantage of that. And don't be afraid to ask questions. And, I mean, also don't be afraid to present any ideas you may have. Just be yourself. And like Melissa said, just be confident in what you're doing, and everything else should run smoothly. Great.
Well, Melissa, it's been great to talk to you here on Jobs and Pods.
Yeah, it was great talking to you.
And Chanel, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
That will do it for this edition of Jobs and Pods. I'd like to thank Melissa and Chanel. To apply for a sales intern position, please visit NestlePurinaCareers.com. We'll also place a link to their webpage from the Jobs and Pods site under this podcast. And for more jobcasts like this, visit JobsinPods.com. And don't forget, you can also subscribe to our jobcasts on iTunes. Just do a keyword search for Jobs and Pods.